morning and welcome to This Day in History. My name is Mrs. Schneider and today is October 30th. On this day in 1938, Orson Welles and members of his Mercury Theater on the Air broadcasting company touched off mass panic with a CBS dramatic radio adaptation of the 1898 novel The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. The play was so well performed by Orson Welles and his crew that listeners believed the broadcast to be real, and it incited mass panic. The one-hour program began with the theme music for Mercury Theater on the Air and an announcement that the evening's show was an adaptation of The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Orson Welles then read a prologue which was closely based on the opening of the H.G. Wells novel, but modified slightly to move the story to the setting of 1938. For about the next 20 minutes, the broadcast was presented as a typical evening of radio programming, being interrupted by a series of news bulletins. The first few news flashes occurred during a presentation of live music and described a series of odd explosions on the planet of Mercury, followed by a seemingly unrelated news report of an unusual object falling on a farm in Grover's Mill, New Jersey. The musical program returns briefly before being interrupted again by a live report from Grover's Mill, where police officials and a crowd of curious onlookers have surrounded the strange cylindrical object that fell from the sky. The situation escalates when Martians emerge from the cylinder and attack using a heat ray, which the panicked reporter reports at the scene until his audio feed abruptly goes dead. This is followed by a rapid series of increasingly alarming news updates detailing a devastating alien attack all across the country and the futile efforts of the U.S. military to control it. I chose this event for today's This Day in History because we read an excerpt of War of the Worlds in our Journeys textbook called Invasion from Mars. I thought it was a good, interesting event, and it was a great connection to what we were learning in school. I hope you enjoyed learning more about this historic event. I am Mrs. Schneider reporting for This Day in History. Have a wonderful October 30th.